How is our Kwanzaa family? It is day 3 of the Kwanzaa celebration. So super excited on this wonderful Kwanzaa festivity day. Ujima, love talking about it. Collective work and responsibility, our third principle. Okay, and that stands for to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. And that's what the spirit of Ujama, or looking at Umoja, which is unity, okay, that rolls into uh, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Okay, so we're going to deal with that. I believe it's pretty much self-explanatory. So we're just going to dive in. All right, peace, family. I can't see who you are, but I take it that you are in the Iwapele movement Facebook group. So peace to you as well. If you would type your name so I can address you appropriately, that'd be great. Or either hit the link in the header up there where your name can actually be displayed in regards to who you are, so I can acknowledge you appropriately. Okay, that'll be great. Thank you so much for tuning in, though. I greatly appreciate that, everybody that's tuning in. So, again, family, today we're going to talk about Ujima, collective work and responsibility, okay, to build and maintain our community together, okay, and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, okay, and solve them together. Okay, first and foremost, we can't put the uh, cart before the horse. All right. So, first things first, in order for this to actually work, all right, we have to have that mindset, okay, that we are one. All right. Unfortunately, we have this mindset that we're not. Okay. And that mentality, unfortunately, comes from colonization. I know so many of us, we like to get away from colonization. All right. There is no way around it, because in order for us to solve the problem, it's just like if you go to a doctor or if you go to a mechanic, okay, in order for the mechanic to be able to work on the problem, there has to be a diagnostic, okay? And then in order for the doctor to be able to come up with a remedy, it has to be a diagnosis first. You have to go through the process. Okay. Then what they do is find the problem. Then after that, they find a solution to the problem. Okay. So in order for our problems to be resolved as it relates to our social life with one another, we have to get to the root of why is it that we don't get along. Okay. And there's numerous determining factors. Okay. It's not solely on colonization. Okay. I get it, because as my wife has said so many years ago, I never forget when she and I had a dialogue in regards to this very thing, and to be very specific in regards to the solution to our problem and the root of our problem. She said, well, before they even leave the house, before we even leave our homes, a lot of us are already messed up, because our so-called loved ones has damaged us mentally, and when they harm us physically, it damages you mentally. So damage comes from verbal abuse and physical abuse. Okay. Damage comes from verbal mistreatment and physical mistreatment. So in order for us, okay, brother Deshaun, okay, brother, thank you so much for tuning in, King. I greatly appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Good to have you aboard, my brother. All right, so back to the subject matter at hand. So in order for us to come together, there first must be a healing. And I'm not going to do this in a traditional way, because from what my wife and I recognize, okay, because we believe in bringing healing to the community, right? Deliverance to the community. And all too often, we just leave it at colonization. And that's the reason why I wanted to elaborate on this evening. If you would, please allow me a little space. Okay, I promise you, as the preacher would say, I won't be before you long. You understand? They may go a little longer than what they say, but hey, man, we're gonna keep it within a reasonable time frame, and we're going to dig into this because this is very, very, very important. Okay, because I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, I have experienced some freedom fighters actually getting mad, okay, at our people because they don't participate, okay, in festivities like Kwanzaa, or they don't participate in the working towards our liberation, right? And some people actually get mad about that. Some people actually get mad about, well, they're not donating or they're not helping, or you understand? Beloved, this is something that we must fully understand. Once upon a time, not long ago, we were not the people who we are today. And I'm definitely going to speak for myself. Unfortunately, at one time, I was a menace to society. Unfortunately, I was helping to contribute, and I don't say this with pride. I actually say this with shame, but I'm grateful that I don't do it anymore. I actually participating in the furtherance of destruction. Okay, I was a street person at one time in my life. Okay, so I'm not going to talk like I never was brainwashed, or I always been this person and I always thought that way. It's not true. That's just not true. It's a lie. Okay, and so we must understand that in order for our people to come together as one, we must first start with the mindset of family. No one will ever come together and work together as a family unit unless we have the spirit of family, unless we're family oriented. And that comes from being taught that. You understand? So we have to first start with that first before we even try to even come together. And we also have to understand that there's healing that individuals has to go through, okay, in order for them to be able to interact with anyone else. Okay, some people don't trust because of what has happened in their home. Okay, some people have been molested, raped, okay, verbally abused, physically abused, and these are a lot of things that we're not really talking about. We're not really, we talk about racism a lot, but we really don't deal with the mental and the physical trauma that we deal with from so-called loved ones. Okay, so before the colonizer or the racists even got a hold of us, these are things that we have actually experienced before we even went out into society. We have to start there because a lot of us don't like to deal with that. A lot of us want to put everything on the colonizers and on the racists, and that's just not true. Okay, they definitely play a big part in the reason why we are where we are today. Okay, but that's not the reason in its totality. It is a major reason, but that's it's not the reason in its totality. Okay, I definitely disagree when it comes to that. Okay, so therefore, then we got to get rid of these things that divide us. It's something I'm very passionate about. I talk about gangster rap. Okay, that divides us. You may say, how does it divide us? We're at the concerts, and we come together, and we have a celebratory moment. We're enjoying the festivities, but you know what? A lot of people don't want to talk about what happened at a lot of these concerts, and a lot of times there's fights that break out because of the energy, the reckless, riotous energy. Okay, we have gang violence, right? So we have to deal with these things. You understand what I'm saying? So how can we come together if we're fighting each other, if we're killing each other? You understand? So first things first, we have to get rid of that mindset. We have to get set free from that. Okay? Because our ancestors, they came together. All right, especially during the time of them fighting for, I like to say, our human rights. I know the popular phrase of what they did was civil rights, but to me, the hierarchy of what they were actually doing. To me, the title I like to label it as is human rights. Okay, simply our human rights, because we were being treated like animals. Okay, we were made to work for free. Okay, they just fed us, clothed us, gave us the bare minimum just so we can go back out in the field. Okay, or in the house and serve them and serve their purpose. Okay, we have to be realistic about that. That's just the reality. Okay, so we have to deal with that. What's the driving force behind some of these things too? Is poverty. Okay, yes, because when people are in desperate situations, we do desperate things, right? So what one would not normally do, because they're in a desperate situation, they'll rob their brother, they'll kill their brother, they'll steal from their brother and or sister. Okay, and people in desperate situations will take desperate measures and do things that they would not normally do. So I have to dive deep on this, because I know we just want to just talk about, oh, let us build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters problems our problems and solve them together. But when people are selfish, when they have a selfish mindset, you're never going to see that. You're never going to see that happen because of the mindset of the person, because they have an individual mindset. They don't have a family mindset. Do you understand? And when a person has been abandoned and they're afraid to even love you, they're afraid to even get close to you. You know why? Because they've been abandoned, they've been rejected, they've been misused, they've been mistreated. And some of us judge each other and we don't even know each other's story. We don't even know each other's story. You understand? And let the truth be told, some of our brothers and sisters, who have certain sexual orientations, we mistreat them. We mishandle them. We talk about love, but yet we mock them and mishandle them and mistreat them instead of loving them. Because see, we don't even know what they've been through. We don't even know some of them been raped, some of them been molested, some of them been violated, some of them been violated by so-called leadership in the church and by their own family members. Some young ladies been violated by their own father and brother and uncle and cousins. You understand? So this thing is really deep here. I don't believe in just going to the tip of the iceberg, family. No, you're not going to get your average revolutionary teaching. No, not here. Okay, we believe in getting to the root of the problem and dealing with a lot of dialogues that people run away from. Because we understand, okay, that the deliverance comes from within. All right. So before we could come together as a collective and work together, first of all, before we can help anybody else, we first must have self-care. We have to help ourselves. And although self-care does also encompass us looking out for each other, first it has to start as an individual. Yes. First, it has to start with individual healing. The community cannot be healed. Remember this. Remember this. The village cannot be healed until we heal individually. Why? As I always say, that the family makes up the village, and the village makes up the nation. So, in order for the family to work properly, the mother and the father has to be in their right mind. And then the mother and the father raises the children in their right mind because they're in their right mind, right? But it cannot happen that way until we first get to the root and we have a healthy home first. We have to have healthy parents first. Do you understand? Because the parents raise the children and then the children raise the grandchildren, etc. So let's just take our time here. Let's waltz this thing on this evening and let's really get down to it, okay? Because I'm really truly saddened in my heart by the discord that we have amongst us. And it's really because a lot of times people are not addressing these things, and we start judging each other, and we start verbally beating each other up and call each other out, and we're not fully understanding the whole matter before we come to a conclusion about one another, right? So even our good brother, who was hurt a long time ago during the riots. I'm trying to remember the brother name because it's been so long. Who? Rodney King. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Rodney King. He said, he asked the question, why can't we all just get along? And he was mocked about it. And to me, nothing funny about it. Because that brother said that out of emotional pain. Because he like, why can't we as human beings get along? You know the reason, the answer to that is because racism is a learned behavior. Okay, now they hate us. But guess what? Self-hate is also a learned behavior. Self-hate is a learned behavior. Us hating each other, we didn't come over here gang banging. In fact, let us go back even to the woman king, where you dealt with the Dahomey people who actually sold their fellow African into slavery. That's still going on today for the love of materialistic things. So this is what happens to us because the love of money and the love of materialistic things cause us to sell our soul so we can make sales. Yes, we'll sell our soul. You understand? And if it make us money, we'll sow discord amongst the brethren. We'll get on these social media platforms and we'll start cutting each other down as long as we get likes, shares, and invites and views, and we can make some money. We monetize on each other's pain, and we don't care if long as our pockets are full, we don't care. As long as our stomachs are full, we don't care. Huh? You know, our women are being called female dogs, you know, in these songs. You know, we're calling ourselves nigger in these songs. You understand? Our women are being called whores in these songs. So how can we all just get along when we're doing counterproductive things that's causing division, that's causing us to fight amongst each other and the disrespect of one another? How can we ever get to the collective work and responsibility? How can we ever get to the build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together? This is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because guess what? Your son is my nephew. My son is your nephew. Your daughter is my niece. My daughter should be your niece. Huh? But guess what? Sometimes we complain about, oh, they didn't say anything, oh, they didn't do anything. You know why? Because these adults are afraid of a lot of these young folk. You know why? Because a lot of these young people will kill you. They will kill you if you try to correct them. Some of them will try to kill you. Do you understand? And we have to face the reality about what they're listening to, what is programming them to be so reckless, to be so riotous, to be so uncivil, not ghetto. I can't stand that because everybody in the ghetto is not like that. That's called being chaotic behavior, okay? Uncivilized behavior. Everybody in the ghetto don't act like that. And for those who live in the ghetto, we all know that everybody don't act like that, right? So we even have taken upon these labels and, oh, that's ghetto. Oh, she acting so ghetto, and he acting ghetto, but everybody in the ghetto don't act like that. Hmm? So we have to get rid of that mindset. You know, we're one, right? We're one. We're one. We're one. That's what Pan-Africanism teaches us. We're one. Even our brothers and sisters over in Africa, we're one. Remember, they were colonized too. Remember, that's how we got here. We came from Africa. So why is it that we start thinking that we so much better than our African family over in Africa? And why is it that they start thinking that they're so much better than us? Do we fight amongst each other about that too? They telling us we're not African. We'll claim to be American before we claim to be African. And it's this big old brawl and this big old fight between us from the people throughout the diaspora over in the continent of Africa and America. Again, colonization has brought this fight amongst us. We have to get rid of this separation mindset that we have. Because the only way we can be free from our enemy is to be united as one. A kingdom divided cannot stand. And I'm going to tell you something, family, and it's nothing that is any secret. And a lot of these things I'm saying we are aware of, but the truth is a lot of us don't pay attention to it. And a lot of us want to argue that, oh, that's not the problem. Unfortunately, we got so many people that love gangster rap so much, even though you can't tell me a good benefit outside of us making money. I need you to riddle me this. What is so good about us calling each other nigger, female dog, promoting drug use in our songs? Okay, getting drunk, getting high. You got people talking about drinking the syrup and getting you smoking, roll some more, and huh? I'm trying to figure this out. And the sad part is we think it's harmless, yet we're harming ourselves, and yet we're being influenced by the same gangster rap culture. And I'm 47 years old. I can talk about it. I've seen it go from being just about partying to going from partying to killing. Huh? We, collective work and responsibility. We should be coming together and saying we need to stop that content. Because let me tell you something about these European people. Let me tell you something about it. When Luke started talking the way he was talking, Luke, and hey, I'm old school, so this is the only example I can really use because it was because of his situation. A lot of people don't know that the parental guidance label on these records that was very foul and explicit. It came from Luke's situation, right? So when Luke started talking the way he was talking, you know what those European people did? They said, nah, no, get this out of here. You know what these European people start doing when their children started listening to gangster rap. When their children, who watch you got served? Who watch you got served? Okay. During the time of the Beastie Boys, it wasn't really like that. You know what I mean? But who watch you got served? Did you not see a bunch of Caucasian people in there? Did you not see that? The Beastie Boys started them becoming hip hop, and what I'm saying. Then you had Third Base, and you understand what I'm saying. Then you had Vanilla Ice come on, come along later. You understand? Then later on after that, you had Eminem come out. You understand? And that's when they like, oh no, we gotta stop this. See, as long as it was just affecting us, nothing was said. But when it started affecting their children, and their children start listening to that stuff, and they was like, "Oh, no, 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 it's not good for our children." No, they stood up and said something. But you know the reason why a lot of us don't say nothing? Because we're messed up in the head. Remember now, to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sister problems our problems and solve them what? Together. So we need to solve our own problems. Because until we stop this, until we get rid of the self-destructive mindsets that we have and attitudes and actions that we have, we still going to continue to see the same stuff happen in our communities. Listen, we got problems on the outside, which is the racists. Then we got what you call, listen, I'm a retired Marine, and in the military, what happens is if somebody end up getting shot by another military person, they call it friendly fire. Now, why they call it that? And to me, nothing friendly about it. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Friendly fire, meaning it came from supposed to be a friend, not a foe. You understand? So we got a lot of internal problems where we're hurting each other. And then on top of that, you got the racists hurting us too. So where do we go? Which way do we turn? We supposed to be able to, home is supposed to be amongst family. We supposed to be able to find safety amongst family. But you got your enemy, and then your so-called family is trying to hurt you too. We can barely walk up the street. A lot of us had to get guns in our own neighborhoods. You got gangs with different territories. You can't even walk in your own neighborhood with a certain color on, or they'll try to kill you. So let's start at home first. Let's clean up our house first. You understand? Because I'm not concerned about, first of all, people say, well, they ain't gonna respect us. Listen, fam. I can't stand when we say that. Oh, they ain't gonna respect us until we respect. No, 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 no. There ain't no asking for respect. No, you demand it. I'm not asking, I'm not pleading with nobody. Oh, please, Mr. European man, would you please respect? No, I ain't begging and pleading nothing. You disrespect me, you're gonna feel me. Period. So get that out your head. Oh, well, they ain't gonna respect us until I'm not concerned. Hey, listen, listen, man. Listen. They disrespect me, they're gonna feel me. It's just that simple. And that's what standing up for yourself is all about. You know what I'm saying? Forget that. We need to love each other. We need to get back to loving each other. And let me be very clear, we don't have to use, Jewish people. We love using Jewish people. And stop thinking that all these folk get along so well. If they got along so well, okay, then why do they got the Democratic Party and the Republican Party? If they all was just on the same sheet of music and everybody just got along, then why did they have the Revolutionary War? Why did they have the Civil War? Why did they have the Boston Tea Party? Why did the Holocaust happen? Why did the insurrection at the White House happen? Why did they set up their own colleagues, okay, and had them attack their colleagues' houses? If they got along so well, riddle me that. Help me to understand that. We need to get rid of this fantasy because we put these folk up on a pedestal like they're the epitome of morality when they're the reason why we're in a mental and economical dilapidated condition that we're in. These same people that we're praising, redlining us, gentrifying us, gerrymandering us. In fact, last year we just got the Crown Act so we could wear our natural hair. So where do we get this mindset from that they are the epitome of morality and family? Riddle me this. Do you call this good parenting by teaching your child to be a racist? Help me understand that. Help me understand that. You call that good parenting just because they send their children to college and they teach them finances? That's only a part of good parenting, family. What about good morals? What about good character that come from having good morals? What about that? What about treating a person fairly and not judging somebody by the pigmentation of their skin, but as the Honorable Minister Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, but by the content of their character? What about that? Because most of the time when I hear us praise them, it's always, oh, you know, they set them up, they send them to school, and oh, they make sure that they're entrepreneurs, and oh, we don't do that. Well, they weren't colonized. They weren't colonized. The reason why African people in America and throughout the diaspora don't have that mindset is because we have been colonized. We have been programmed to just work and not be owners, but we work to be owned. Yes, when you just saying, oh, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna get my degree, and I'm gonna get a job, and you don't have no mindset of starting a business, that's called working to be owned, not to own. Because working to own is, I'm gonna get my degree, I'm gonna register me a business, okay? I'm going to create a business which can create jobs, and I'm going to hire my people, which is going to go into cooperative economics on tomorrow, which is Ujima, and I'm gonna put them on the payroll. Why do we complain about that when we haven't been taught to think like that? So we have to be taught to think like that in order for us to think like we live the way we think. So, you know, our minds is influenced by teaching, by brushing our teeth, washing. All of us do that because we were taught to do that. So it's a part of our habits, our mannerism, because we were taught that. So how can we expect one another to have that mindset when they're not being taught that at home, not at school? And that's another problem we have. We depend totally too much on, okay, a public school system that continues to fail us. When are we going to get it? Because you know why? Again, we've been disconnected and we forgot that that type of teaching comes from parents at home. Financial education comes from the parent. And if the parents are ignorant to that, then guess what? We need to learn it so we can teach our children and stop saying, well, I don't know this. Well, why are we so passionate about gossip and not passionate about information that's going to bring positive transformation in our own lives and our family lives? There again, we've been programmed to run towards what hurts us instead of what helps us. Again, Ujima, to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and do what? Solve them. So what am I doing tonight? I'm giving you solutions to the problems. Not just complaining. There's no complaint here. It's called highlighting, and then you address it. So I just wanted to underscore those things so we can eat off of that just a little bit. And then once we get off of here, for those of us who's not doing this, we can start doing this. And we need to educate ourselves because this is the age of information. There's a plethora. And for those who don't know what that means, Okay, it means there's a lot. Okay, a lot. Plethora means a lot of information that's out there for free that will help you to build your credit. Okay, there's a lot of information for financial management. Okay, learning how to manage your money better. Okay, the information is out there. Okay, and what we have to stop doing is, family, is wasting our time. I'm just telling you this in love because I'm serious. My wife and I, we've been in business for a long time. We've dealt with our people. Okay, okay. All of our rental properties are in the inner city, the so-called ghetto. And I'm telling you what I know. We have an e-commerce business, and you have some folk that, oh, can I get a discount? Can a discount? You got folk who want to play games and not pay their rent, and they look like us. But some of you want to live in this fantasy world. Oh, why do we complain about our people and how our people do business? Well, if we got it, why do you always look for a handout? Why are you always looking for somebody to give you something for free? If you understood cooperative economics, which we're going to deal with tomorrow, then you can help us by buying our products and paying for our services and stop asking for a discount just because we look alike. Because y'all don't go up in Macy's and do that. You don't go up in Walmart and do that. You just go in there and look for a sale. But when it comes looking like each other, oh, well, we look alike. Listen, family, let's be clear. First of all, we don't owe each other anything. Let's be clear. Business is business. I'm not the one who enslaved you. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you reparations. Our business is not a nonprofit. Our businesses are not nonprofits. Okay? They're for-profit businesses. So stop looking at other African people like they owe you something, because they don't. It's called business. That means you exchange currency for goods or currency for a service. Huh? That's how that works. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to close there. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, remember Ujima, collective worker responsibility. We have to help our brothers and sisters out. For those of us who have this information that will help our people to bring about positive transformation, it is your responsibility as a fellow brother and sister or a fellow family member to do some type of nonprofit work. Have a balance, because we all know that everybody can't afford your services. Okay, so have a balance. And we actually give out free financial information as well. It's literally on our YouTube channel. Okay, check out EY Pele Movement. I did a very extensive business, okay, and financial class, very extensive on there. You can't miss it. Go to the live tab, okay, on the EY Pele Movement channel. Okay, you're going to have about an hour's worth of free financial and business content. That's our nonprofit contribution, okay, to our people, because we understand everybody can't afford it. We get it. All right. So that's our contribution to the community right there. All right. So now you have no excuse. All right. We also give 30-minute free consultations. 30 minutes free consultations. Okay. How to start a business and financial. Okay. All right. So you can find us on Instagram. You can inbox us on Instagram, EY Pele Movement. Okay, you see it right there at the bottom of the screen. For those of you watching on Instagram, you already know because you're on the page. just DM us, okay? And we'll set up a 30-minute free session with you, and we'll get you started. Notice I said 30 minutes. 30. After that, it's pay time. You understand? Fair is fair. 30 minutes. All right. So I love all y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay. And I pray this was a blessing to you. If it is, please share it. Okay. Again, this is not to be famous. Okay. This is not about fame. It's about freedom. Obviously, it can't be about fame because most of us don't even want to hear what I'm talking about. You understand? So, just share it with somebody else who has a like mind as you feel like it could be some benefit to, so we can all grow together, we all build together, okay, and we can strengthen our people together. All right. Love y'all. Enjoy. Peace, Facebook.